Test 1, 2, 3. Test. Test. Can you hear me okay, Jolin?
Yes, you're good for now. I just want to see what he says.
Yeah, Scott, we forgot to put a little bit of heat on last night. No problem. I brought my Mackinac. We good, sir? Good morning, Keller Williams. Welcome to Friday, your Friday update. Before I get started, I just want to let you know that we are live stream throughout the province. If you have a question, you can go to the live stream portion. Send your question. Brad will take the questions, read the questions back, and then I'll answer the questions. The questions will be answered at the end of the presentations, just so that we can keep the flow going as quickly as possible. So, this morning we have 33 active cases of COVID-19, and on the way up here this morning, they announced that there was 30,000 people laid off from various positions. This is a sign of the times, and I can't reiterate enough that if you're out there still actively moving some property, you might want to stay off of social media in regards to telling people or telling your community that you sold this or you got this or you sold that, simply because there are a lot of people that are in a different position they were a couple weeks ago, and we're seeing it over here in Fredericton that they're retorting that, great for you, but I just lost my job, sort of thing. So I'm just asking you to be vigilant and maybe just tone that down just a little bit while we're in the situation we're in. So I want to start off this morning by reading this message that I got from Martha Lister yesterday. I thought it was a good one. Stay home and stay safe. If public health called tomorrow and told you you were tested positive for COVID-19 and asked you to list all the places you've been and all the people you have been in contact with over the last 14 days, would you be proud of yourself or embarrassed? And the reason why I put that up is that I want to emphasize that the chief medical officer and the premier announced about 2 weeks ago that we are in a state of emergency. And the words that they keep coming back to, besides wash your hands, don't touch your face, do social distancing, the words that they keep coming back to more and more often is stay home. I hear that a lot. Stay home, stay safe. And yet, we live in a world that we have to make a living, and we have to ensure that we're doing it in a safe manner so that our industry will come out of this unscathed with a reputation that we care about what's going on in the public as of now. So the idea of stay safe and stay home is, if you don't have to be out there, then don't be out there. There's the other thing is that we have no idea amongst our 136 realtors if we are actually carriers of COVID-19. We don't know that. But it would be awful if one of us were, and we inflicted this terrible infection on a homeowner, on an elderly person, or better still, on a baby. And if that ever came to be, you can rest assured if they track it back and they find out it's one of us, there will be in a different world than we find ourselves in right now. So I'm not saying this to be fear-mongering. I'm saying this is actual. The government has said, stay home, stay safe. I just wanted to go through the other slides here in regards to what I announced last week. In regards to Fredericton, you see that all your fees have been sort of cut for the month of April, which is a good thing for Freddie. In Moncton, your fees have been cut in half, which is a break, and they're going to look at it at the end of April to see if they're going to do a further cut or keep the same cut. In the St. John Board, all fees for April and half the fees for May and June, which is a good thing. Keller Williams said that anyone that's renting office space, there will be no charge for office space, and your monthly fee for $55 went down to $45. Now, we look at the leadership masterminds, treat for shock, and this is a true statement. Yesterday is gone. There's no going back to normal. What is the new normal? And what are we doing to lean into and choose the new normal? And I said this to a realtor last evening on a conversation. At one time, as a realtor, it was important for us to have a tape measure, a camera, and a cell phone. Today, we need a tape measure, a camera, a cell phone, a mask, some rubber gloves, some sanitizers, and some hand sanitizer. That may be the new normal going forward. That just may be what the new normal is going to be. So I just want to make sure that we understand where the new normal is, because the line across the front of this page is not the normal. That's what we're experiencing right now, but we need to get back into the normal where it goes up and down. And, excuse me, and when that goes up and down, we can see that's the trajectory of an ongoing real estate business. We have ups and downs, and we have highs and lows, and that's normal to us. What we're experiencing right now is not really normal. So I put these slides up as well. These are actual slides that you would have got from NBREA. And I wanted to make sure that we sort of clarify some of these slides. I've got a number of calls saying, well, can I go, do I got to discuss that they're in a divorce or their job transfer or they lost their jobs or there's a death in the family? No, that's not what you have to reveal to anybody other than the vendor you're talking to. So what they broke it down into 5 areas: homes, properties with pending sale with conditions to be satisfied. These are established essential transactions. Buyers and sellers are under contract subject to conditions being satisfied. Most of the conditions can be satisfied virtually, up to about 95%. All conditions except inspection can be satisfied electronically without visiting the property. MBRA has provided all realtors with the information, piece, and video on the best practice for home inspections. So let's talk about home inspections. Home inspections should be done by a qualified inspector who already knows what he's up against when he goes in there in regards to COVID-19. The inspector will ensure that he does the inspection with a mask, rubber gloves, and sterilized wipes. He wants nobody in the house when he's there, and he will let the realtor know when he leaves so that the people that live there can go home. If you have an elderly couple or you have renters in the basement of your house and they don't want to get out or can't get out for whatever reason, then that inspection should not take place. And I want to emphasize not. If you have to postpone it, you have to waive it, or you have to reschedule it, that's what you should be doing. Home properties with a firm sale not yet closed. These are essential transactions. Logistically, sellers may have already moved, buyers may have already sold their previous homes and given notice to the rentals. Realtors must respect best practices for social distancing in accessing the property or obtaining a key for the buyer. Best practice in this case, we know that the house has been cleaned. We know that the people are gone. We know all their furniture is out. So the best practice in this place, the realtor who is doing the pre-closing should have a mask, should have some rubber gloves, and should have some sanitized wipes. And they should actually show up a few minutes before the clients get there. Go in, open the doors, open all the cupboard doors, open all the closet doors, and wipe as they open. Excuse me. And when the buyer shows up, you can be outside and say, the house is ready, everything is open, please just do your walkthrough, do not touch anything, and when you're done, come on outside and you can tell me whether everything is good or bad. If it isn't good, I'll go back in and I'll double check what you're talking about and come back outside and have a conversation. So therefore, you're practicing social distancing. If everything is good, great, they're going to get in their car. You're going to keep the key and maybe bring it to the lawyer or find another way for them to get it later until after it closes. And then you're going to go back in with your handy wipes and you're going to shut all the doors, wiping all the knobs, washing down all the light fixtures that you touched, and on the way out, cleaning the doorknob that you handled to put the lockbox key in, and then be gone. That's the procedure for pre-closings. And there is absolutely, you're absolutely following the rules. In regards to sellers with homes and properties for sale, these transactions may be deemed essential or non-essential depending on the individual circumstances. So here's the example of divorce, death in the family, job transfers, foreclosures. What they're saying is that if they're not one of these, then they might want to wait until we find out where this COVID-19 is going and then list. But I know that I've talked to a number of agents in the province over the last few days, and it's happened here in Fredericton, that we get calls from vendors that says, I know what's going on in the world, but I still want to list my house. I know what's going on in the world, and if you don't come and list my house, I'm going to find another realtor that will. And we've all heard those. As a matter of fact, there's probably some of us that said no, and there's somebody else in our own office that has gone and listed a property. Now, you have to make the decision whether or not you want to go and list that property for the sake of listing it if it doesn't fall under these 4 categories. But should you decide that you're going to go list this property, it's still no face-to-face, and it's still all the precautionary measures that you took in regards to homes that needed an inspection. You're going to talk to the vendor and say, yes, I can come over, but you need to leave the door open, turn all your lights on, and I'm going to do a walkthrough of your property. I'm going to phone you in 15 minutes after I leave, and I'm going to allow you to go back home. And then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to do a CMA, and then we're going to have a conversation over the telephone or FaceTime or Zoom or whatever you want to use, and we're going to discuss listing your property. Should you decide to list after the discussion, then I'm going to send you all the documents electronically. And I may decide, Mr. Vendor, that you're going to take some pictures for me so I can put them on. Send them to me and I'll put them on. Or if I got a professional photographer, then I'm going to make arrangements for him to go. He's going to wear masks, rubber gloves, and have sanitizer wipes with him as well. But you're not going to be at the house when he gets there. and he's going to practice just the same as an inspector would. When he's gone, we'll let you know that you can go back home. And we'll put your house on the market, and we'll take your instructions as to whether or not you want showings. And if you do want showings, we'll ensure that the realtor will vent everyone in regards to the questions that need to be asked. Have you been over on an international flight in the last 14 days? Do you have a fever, cold-like symptoms, flu? No to all of this? Then okay. If you have yes to any of this, you're not looking at the house. And we'll also instruct the other agents that may not be you doing it, that they're to practice the same thing you would if you were doing it yourself. Number 4, buyers looking for homes. Right now, there's a lot of buyers looking for homes. There has been a number of houses sell on the MLS systems right around the province, sight unseen, based on either a virtual tour that the agent took, a video tour that they took when they listed the property, or by looking at the pictures that are tagged to the property. But there have been a number that have sold without a whole lot of interaction in regards to going and actually looking at the house. So there is that. Now, same thing applies. If the buyers are looking for homes and they can wait, then that's a good thing. If they can't wait and you decide, it's your business. You have to decide whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it. But if you're going to do it, you need to do it in a very safe environment. Because I do not want you under litigation, nor do I want Keller Williams under litigation for not doing things in a proper manner. So, sellers wanting to list their homes, I just talked about that. There are a number of people that want to have their houses on the market right now. Even with all of this stuff going on, they want to have their house on the market because they know that there's a number of buyers out there, and they know that there are a number of people out there that are contemplating a move in the next 2 months that are got lots of time on their hands, and they're searching MLS systems and personal website and corporate websites, and they're looking for houses. Again, these are guidelines by NBRA. And this is your business. 137 businesses under Keller Williams. All of you are going to do it a little bit different, but we want to make sure that you practice it, whatever which way you're going to do it, in a very safe environment. So, a little bit of good news for the month of February. For the month of February, we talk about how difficult the industry is right now. I wanted to just I threw the slide in here because I thought it was worthwhile. Keller Williams, with the training, the culture, the technology, and education that we're providing, we consistently outperform our expectations on a very regular basis. And the newsletter came out from Keller Williams Canada, and I was very pleased to see that Keller Williams Capital Realty #1 in closed units up until the end of February. First in Canada for net agents. Fourth in Canada for gross agents, and fifth in Canada for appointments. And look over at their individual. Lisa Hare, #2. Vicky LaForge, #3. Dwayne Hayes, #9. Helena McDermott, #11. Nick Dunfield, #12. Sandy Levine, #17. And Claude Bastarache, #23. A lot of these people in the individual side would be some of their first time hitting this particular sheet. If you look at teams, the Rhine team, #6, Claude Williams and Vicky Williams, the Williams team, number 12. House to Home Realty, Jeremy and Turgeon, Tracy Boulder, number 17. Partner St. John Selecting Inc., Kathleen McNamara and Gary Vincent, number 20. And under the group, and that group is 3 or more, Derek Jacques team, Derek Jacques, Jack Obi, and Tracy Jacques, number 14. And the Jack Carr team, Jack Carr, Tyler Chalmers, and Justin Lee, number 18. These are accomplishments that can't go unnoticed. These are people within our own group that have excelled and done very well, and I believe that these numbers are only going to get better as we move forward, because together we are very, very mindful that we're in this as a team, and we're doing everything we can to work in on our business so that when this is over, we're going to be able to pivot and move right into the market. And folks, I just want to tell you this, and I've been around for 25 years, I believe that our spring market is going to be an awesome market. It's just going to be delayed by maybe 30 days. I really firmly believe that's where we're at. And I'm sort of hoping that's where we're at as well. So just wanted to point out, this has been recent messages on the matrix system. People are watching and some are going out of their way to report and publish information about activity without any facts. Be safe, be professional, and be mindful. Anyone can use this opportunity to smear any agent or brokerage. And we'll send these slides out so you can see it, but it says here today, she reached out to myself and Angela Boudreau in St. John, wanting to report 1 salesperson in Fredericton and 2 salespeople in St. John who are continuing to do real estate with people who have health issues. I'm hoping that this is not true, but at the same time, is it? And it doesn't necessarily have to be Keller Williams either. This is the thing that we gotta be mindful. And I said to an agent the other day, I said, you know, all of this stuff that we're now into here and what we need to do to protect ourselves and protect our family and protect the public is very common sense. But sometimes there's no common sense. People just don't have common sense. Keller Williams, I'm imploring you that we've got all kinds of common sense and that we're going to do it and do it in a very professional, ethical, and moral manner so that we have an industry that's vibrant and people can look up to us and say, those people led the way in regards to helping us flatten or smashing the curve on COVID-19. So, my understanding, Vanessa from CBC afternoon show, pardon me if there was an error in her spelling or her name, has reached out to members and not sure if any of your members or other boards. The headline in today's paper is Doors Closing on Record-Breaking Real Estate Market. A lot of times we like to get up and stand up on a pedestal and talk about how great we are, and that's why I talked about social media earlier, of all the ends we're doing and all the stuff we're doing. And then there was a report in the Gleaner here last week that somebody is distraught now because they were started off in a big bang and it looks like they're going to do 75 ends, and now that COVID-19 has hit, they're re-looking at, re-examining their goals, and they may only hit 40 or 50 this year. That's the last thing that you want in a newspaper. You know what your goals are. You know what your business should look like or wants to look like. You don't need to go and have that discussion. If there's anybody that approaches you from the media, you need to refer them to myself or Scott if it's in regards to Keller Williams. do not try to answer the questions, just refer them on to us. The next one, let's go down to the technology one. So in the technology one, innovate, automate, and dominate. I can't stress enough how much information has been poured into every single realtor in Keller Williams Capital over the last 2 weeks. It has been like with a fire hose. I can assure you that there is no other company that's doing this for their agents. The stuff that we're putting out there and the stuff that Keller Williams International is putting out there, they're putting out there so that you can stay in the game and keep your head on the prize and your eye on the target in regards to working in and on your business until this thing comes to some sort of reasonableness. No, we don't expect that you're going to sit in front of your TV or in front of your computer and watch this from 12 to 6 every day. We don't expect that you're going to jump on and get on Jill Plurd's calls and stay in that every day. But we're expecting you to do something in regards to working in and on your business so that we can keep you in the game. Because at the end of this, if we do nothing, there will be some people that will fall off the edge at the end of this. That's not what Scott and I in leadership wants for our people in our organization. We want you to be able to put on your shoes, put on your boots, and let's get this thing rolling when the time comes. We're the number one worldwide leader in training. And we're only 15 in the world that's been awarded this designation. Gary Keller is very, very adamant that he wants to ensure that his people, all 200,000, are moving in the right direction. He predicted this shift, maybe not COVID-19, but he predicted this shift 2 years ago at a family reunion, I believe that was in Los Angeles. He predicted this because he's a visionary. If we look at the command training and resource, you have the Keller Williams Connect, and again, we're going to send this out to you. You've got the answers, you take KW, and then you got your daily training. We are going to send this back out to you. We're going to continue to send it back out. Some will get on it for the first time. Some will be on it continuously in the last 2 weeks, but we think it's important that you get what you need to get while we're in this situation. In the TAP schedule program, the results of the data will be provide the most accurate analysis and plan for every agent, every office, and for the entire market center. We have 64% of our people not signed up to have a conversation with David. If there was any downtime at all, it is this downtime that you could spend the 40 minutes or a half hour with him to ensure that he gets to know you and gets to know where you are from a training point of view and from a technology point of view. Please take the time, sign up. Scott and I in leadership, way back in November, decided that this was an important hole to fill, and we decided to go and investigate and hire the caliber of a David Whalen. We expect that you will do your due diligence and sign up so that we can get this thing done. Once it's done, then there'll be a program rolled out in each of the market centers for individual training, group training, or one-on-one training so that you can experience David at your level and not at another level that you may not be at right now. That's the reason why we're doing what we're doing in regards to these tech audits. So if you haven't signed up, please go in and schedule a time so David can have a conversation with you. In regards to in regards to referrals, I said this before that last year Keller Williams International recorded, I believe, over $30 million in referral business. Canada, as part of that $30 million, is less than 1%. If you went into command and went into referrals and you could follow where the in-migration is coming from into New Brunswick, and you could reach out to some of those agents and some of those offices to build a bit of rapport with them as to when your people come this way, I'll be more than happy to look after them. You should spend a little time on generating some referral business. It's very simple to go in and get into the referral side and start building your income stream from another way while you're waiting for this market to explode again. One of the girls out, I believe it was in Vancouver last year, went to a family reunion, went to one class on referrals, decided that she was going to do something about referrals, and she thought if she could make $8,000 to $15,000 of extra money in referrals, that would be awesome for her. And her referral business is bigger than her regular business. Last year, she earned over $100,000 just in referrals. So it's open. They brought in over $30 million. There's a portion of that is yours, if you want, and it's sitting right there on the table for you if you want to take advantage of it. So I ask you that you should take a look at that. Again, we talk about the referrals. Enter the city, select the production, pick any dot and see where the Keller Williams agent is in production in pink, and send them the referrals. It's very, very easy to do. So, we're hit with COVID-19. Well, in 1965, Isaac Newton had to work from home when the University of Cambridge temporarily closed due to bubonic plague. It was the most productive period of his life, and he used that time to develop his theories on calculus, optics, and gravity. What are you using your time for? That's the question. What are you using your time for? And I'm going to suggest that if you're not using your time on anything in regards to real estate because of what's going on out there, when this shift is finished, you're going to be behind the 8 ball. So I ask you, with all the stuff and all the information that we're providing to you, that you jump on and you get on the train, because when this train starts to gain momentum, when in another hopefully 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I want to make sure that I've got all of our passengers on the train in regards to our partners, because we absolutely do care about you, and we do care about your families, and we do care about your growth, and we do care about your trajectory, and most of all, we want to make sure that we care about you more than we care about us right now. We've made a decision to keep all our staff together. Even though they're all working from home, we made a decision that we're going to keep them here so that you know that Keller Williams Capital Realty New Brunswick is very, very safe. We're safe because we believe in you. We're safe because we know that you have it in you to do good things. And I want to end with that we need to ensure that we stay safe and we stay positive Our mindset right now is critical that we stay positive and we keep trudging away, and this will end soon, I'm sure, and we'll be back to what we will call the new normal, whatever that new normal is. If you have any questions, any concerns, Scott and I are a phone call away, and we'll help you answer everything that we can. Brad, is there any questions?
I just had one with the tap schedule. Is that in the, a link to the tap schedule, is that in the slides? Is it gonna be sent? Okay. So maybe we can just send that link if we want.
Okay.
Mayor was just wondering that.
Yep.
I
Okay.
just want to tell people that the link to the tap schedule will be sent out to everyone.
Okay. So the question was, is the link to the TAP schedule linked? It isn't on the slides, but we will send them to you so that you can get linked up and get scheduled with David. Any other questions?
Nothing that I see, everything, everyone's just saying good job, thanks for doing everything you do for us, all that kind of stuff. So,
Again, thank you, folks. We're going into week 2. Stay focused, stay safe, stay happy. And if you have any questions or concerns, my phone and Scott's phone is on waiting in anticipation to help you out. Have a great day, and we think the world of all of you.